Ending our day on a high. Team Liquid are going to have to be ice cold with the spicy new addition of Taco. And in the other side of the ring, we have the Danes. It's the Astralis, as they're going to continue to try and show what consistency can do for you. It's Group D, and it's the last one of the day. Dudes. That's alliteration. Joining me, I have my dudes. I do have none other than Chatty B and Shawnee G. We're going to be hanging out. Myself, Machine, is your host residing. Gentlemen, we have got ourselves quite the game to end the day. A lot of people were suggesting this is going to be the best one.
There have been a lot of good games today. I think that last one definitely didn't disappoint for sure. But this one here, it's not unknown quantities by any sense, but Liquid and Astralis, two teams at the moment who are looking pretty damn hot. And I'm excited to see how this Taco thing's going to fit in a best-of-3 scenario now. Yes, and
we'll bring up that group, Sean, because this group was one that had its fair share of twists and turns already. We're only in day 2. I mean, walk us through it.
Yeah, so to kick it off, Liquid obviously defeated Gambit. Everyone kind of expected that, even with Liquid having Taco just entering the team. Then we have Astralis just destroying Space Soldiers, which is kind of weird considering how well Space Soldiers have been playing online. And then the lower bracket, the biggest shock is Gambit actually knocked Space Soldiers out of the tournament. Almost just blanked them out on the first half. I think it was a 14-1 half. So yeah, here we sit in the upper bracket.
Yeah, and Gambit waiting in the wings. So it's not the same kind of scenario that we saw earlier in the day where, with NIP Mouse, that was such a huge series, not only to get to the playoffs, but you knew that there was a very scary opponent waiting for you. No, Gambit, not to be trifled with, but there is also that feeling of a second chance in this series, should it not go well for either of the sides, Chad.
Yeah, and that's maybe something to keep in mind. But Gambit, with a win on the board, maybe they're going to get some wind behind their sails or under their sails and kick off back into things. I saw some photos. They're out in the sun today, so getting the vitamin D.
Honestly, knowing how Counter-Strike goes, Gambit are going to win this tournament.
Well,
that's how it's
anything's possible.
Yeah, that's just how it works. That's how Counter-Strike has been in 2018. Now, we are in Marseille, and the best players in the world travel around the world, and we have the best players in the world and Marseille. Let's see what happens when we combine the two.
Come on down, Taco. Welcome. Hello.
You said a really beautiful place, but you forgot to say a really beautiful player and man.
Oh, of course. Well, we're both men here. Very much that.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying Marseille so far?
It's a good city. I'm really enjoying it. I think the weather is really good.
Sunny. It's beautiful.
It's sunny, beautiful, yeah.
Kind of reminds me of California in some ways.
Yes. The weather is perfect for me right now.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that. And you now live in California.
Yeah.
But I felt like I bring you here because, well, we got a lot of Liquid over here, right? You like that?
It was good. It was good, yes.
Change is uneasy for anyone, really. But at that point, walk me through, your side of what happened. What happened, man?
What happened is that I think it's really normal to have internal problems. In these 3 years that I played with the guys, we always had some problem. It's really normal. Everything is like this, yes. It's part of life, right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of tired. I didn't want to fix the problems anymore. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to go to the next page.
The next thing, yeah.
The next thing.
To move on, yeah.
Yes. And I was not playing that good anymore. I was not feeling good anymore. I think life is about happiness, and I was not happy anymore.
Couldn't have said it any better, Taco.
Yeah.
That was actually beautiful.
And I'm really happy right now in my life. I'm really, really happy.
Taco, let's go check out the sunset here in front of Fort St. John. There it is, Viva Marseille.
Viva Marseille.
Brought you down here to the docks. I've taken the liberty to go above and beyond the DreamHack budget and rent us a yacht. So I hope that excites you. No, not really.
Okay.
Sorry, man. Maybe next year.
Marseille is pretty awesome, dude. And it's gonna be even more when you lift that trophy.
Yeah? You taking the Masters trophy?
You're gonna take this trophy.
Two different sides of the story there. We had Taco, of course, on the microphone with his victory earlier on in the group stage, saying that they haven't had much time to practice and things still feel uncomfortable, but as the sun was setting with Trace, I think he was looking towards the bright sides, the silver linings of those very limited clouds here in Marseille, and looking positive.
It was very deep, wasn't it?
It was.
Life is about happiness.
And he's not wrong.
Good.
And Trace had a bit of sunburn on the back of his neck there, so hopefully someone gets some aloe vera for that one. That one might be
Is aloe vera good for sunburn?
It is, yeah. What?
Well, he's not from a country with sun.
Dude,
He doesn't get what we
look at
get.
me. How often do you think I've been sunburnt in my life?
6 times?
I've never been sunburned.
Not even when you
Not
go...
even like that flaky, you know, like when like it looks really uncomfortable. Never, not once.
Wow.
And do you know what else is uncomfortable? Not knowing the veto during a pre-match. Let's talk about it, Sean. I'm looking at you.
Yeah. So I think Astralis actually has the upper edge here because their best maps right now are like Train, Mirage, Inferno, and obviously Overpass. They're huge into Overpass. And that's a weak point for Liquid right now at Overpass. So I could see Astralis going towards Overpass here. Liquid has to almost ban Nuke because they just have to when playing Astralis. They're going to have to pick one of Astralis' best maps.
Cobble's going to be out. Astralis are not playing that.
Sure.
That's about it.
Yeah.
So we know we're not seeing Nuke, we know we're not seeing Cobble,
Yeah.
but then everything else is fair game. I mean, like, in terms of, like, there isn't a clear victory. You know, in the same case, Fnatic, we knew Inferno was going to be, like, their best shot of taking Na'Vi down a map.
Akash could come in.
Akash?
Well, I think that's kind of a map
said
that
it like you.
Astralis... Yeah, welcome. I think it's a map that Astralis, like, they have their ups and downs on, whereas Liquid is a North American team. You know, you always expect the North Americans to be good on that map, and it's a playground for Nitro, but I don't think it'd be like a go-to pick. It could be interesting if it comes through as like a...
Lately, Liquid's been playing a lot of Inferno, so they might go into Astralis' Inferno. No, they actually go with Mirage. So.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense then. So Mirage, Overpass, goodbye to Train, and Astralis were given the choice. Interestingly enough, they've chosen to take it to Liquid on Cash, and we'll get to see. We don't see much Cash in Europe at all. It was one of the least played maps we've seen in one stages.
Yeah, and those 156 Pro League maps, Alex, it's only been played 15 times.
15 out of what?
That's what I use as my sample size for maps in Europe.
You can't really blame us. You have most of the world's best teams playing regularly every week. You're going to kind of get a feel for map pools.
It's on par with Nuke. Both maps have only been played 15 times. Anyway.
Damn, that is interesting. Yeah. Okay, so Cash is actually not as seen as often as you may expect, despite it being kind of in the map pool for what feels like forever.
I think it's mainly because of the amount of ways CTC can get aggressive. It feels like you lack control when you're on T side because of that.
I think it's weird that like Mirage coming out, right, in the sense of I've always seen Astralis as a super structured team, but when they had the stand-in, when we're looking at the Blast Pro series, they actually looked really dangerous on it because they were brawling more and Kyobi got in the thick of things. And now they're in that looser style with Device and Dupree being the main stars. And I was talking to Magic Boy yesterday and talking about like he was just kind of slotted into this squad to fit the role that they needed. You already knew where they wanted everyone else to be. Kyobi overlapped, took some of Dupree's roles before, but in this scenario, things changed up a little bit and he was able to fill that last gap. So with that, this team, I think, is a little bit more brawly than they've probably ever been.
But this is a really interesting conversation, and one I think I should probably throw in now while I have two people on the desk that have been ex-professional players and have competed at the top levels. This is where I have to ask, it must be such a tough balance to strike, Sean. As in, like, you want to be regimented. You want to have all the strats, all the pages in the strat book, but you also want to have a Fnatic round or two where you are capable of just running at them and seeing what happens.
Yeah, it is really difficult, especially because you want to have your star players do the things they're comfortable with, but you also want to have trading potential if they fail. So you have to like build around the things they like doing while remaining scrimmy. So yeah, it's a very difficult thing to balance, and I think Na'Vi does a decent job of allowing Simple to have those freedoms, but they fail tremendously on like the tactical side right now. Astralis kind of gets caught on the other end, the tactical side, and they don't let their players shine individually.
Well, that's what I found so interesting, Chad. An observation you made before was that Astralis are so good at playing by the book that they've become predictable.
Yeah,
it's like it's gone full circle.
That's definitely something that happens though, right? And that's about having the theory done and knowing what the right decisions are. But I think when you want to play a looser brand of Counter-Strike, which is what it appears they're lending to, it becomes your in-game leader has to make more mid-round calls, or your players need to know that there are more, I guess, ways to solve the puzzle, right? So you have different protocols, you have different contingencies in place depending on different scenarios. Now, sure, the in-game leader needs to be the one to step up and say, hey, this is when we need a pace change, or we're going to put in a bit of aggression here. But having an all-pro on your team like Device makes it much easier when on the CT side, he's like, hey man, I'm going to go pick B apps this round or whatever. And everyone else in the team knows how to build around that. They have the little death ball either to set him up, or they know that they can stack members on other parts of sites.
But the question is, who's going to be facing against Device? We'll bring up Team Liquid now, because let's not forget, a big conversation topic here is they have made the active decision to not pursue an AWPing presence.
Yes, and with the whole DreamHack.com/digital pass, Alex, I did some interviews with Zeus, and I found out like they don't actually address when they're going up against a star AWP, for example, against a Device. They look at every situation differently. How can they actually just exploit him as opposed to, oh, we need to go head-to-head with an AWPer in this scenario? So that's a big question mark for me, and I completely agree with the sentiment. If you don't have a star AWPer, or if you don't want to build around a star AWPer, then you just need to make sure you have other ways in place to be able to deal with him.
Who picks it up, Sean?
So to add on to that, yeah, to answer your question, everyone does. It's so weird what Liquid's doing, but I kind of like it, actually.
Yeah.
So Nitro, you'll see AWP a lot, but on the third map, if we see it, you'll see Twist actually AWP on T side of Cash. So Nitro is aware of certain halves of maps that he just doesn't like AWPing. So you might see Naf AWP on that half, sometimes Twist AWPs on that half. Literally, any of them can do it, right?
Isn't it just Elige, the only one who won't really pick it up? Because Taco used to do it occasionally on like map, like Cobble. Occasionally, he'd pick it up towards B. Elige is probably the only one who we
actually saw him pick it up one round
there
on
we go.
Cobble.
Okay, so
right.
everyone takes the AWP duties now.
So, I mean, yeah, this has been, it's not like it's the first time we've seen a team do this, but it is so interesting just to see a different approach. Because in Counter-Strike, the majority of stuff is been tried and true, as in there's a way to play correctly and there is a way that looks bad. There does seem to be some rule breakers out there. Virtus Pro, of course, have been most notably switching around leadership and AWPs like it was a bag of crisps. But we do get to see now how Liquid do fare. And I'd have to say, this Liquid roster has been resilient, Sean. Like, when you look at them representing North America, as you've lived through looking to get North America on the Counter-Strike map, these guys have probably come the closest outside of Cloud9.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job. And what I really admire about Liquid is the organization's desire to win. Even when they're winning, when the players want to make a change, the organization is going to make that change. And that's something that's really, really rare in Counter-Strike, is teams at the top of their scene willing to make changes to get even better.
I was going to say almost the opposite to Cloud9 there. There was such a long period, especially last year, where they could have made roster changes and they didn't, and they kind of stuck with the roster that they had, and then eventually they did, and then they won a major. So, yeah.
It works on occasion. Now, who wants to refresh my memory on that map pool? We had Inferno and Mirage.
Overpass.
Oh, what was the decider?
Cash,
that's right. Inferno was in there. One of the symbols. Yeah, see?
It was definitely there.
That's how good I am. I hope you guys are dropping your predictions in the chat, by the way. Nice and easy, just an exclamation mark and their team name. It popped up there in the corner. But for you guys, let's start talking about them.
I just think of the Gambit Liquid game yesterday. It's not that, obviously clear 16-7 victory is a good thing to have, but it didn't look like Liquid were firing on all cylinders. It didn't look like they were playing at 100%. Sure, there might be a little bit, jet lag. There might be those kind of factors in place. But Astralis absolutely hammered Space Soldiers, but then that is tainted by Space Soldiers losing to Gambit. So I actually can't really measure where the teams are at because nothing seems super impressive.
We haven't got much evidence either.
I'm just going to go with Astralis.
Okay.
I can't tell you why, but that's what my gut is telling me.
That's what your gut's telling you. Well, you know what? Sometimes listening to your gut is the best way to get through life. Another little message for the Taco and Trace life stories we've learned today. What have you got for me, Sean?
I have to go with the Astralis just because they get that clear one map on Overpass. They are so strong on Mirage. I don't really like what I normally say out of on Cash. Like, if it goes to a third map, it gets dicey. So I think they either 2-0 them or it gets really dicey and it goes towards Liquid on the third map. I'm going Astralis, though.
Interesting. Now, I'm just going to put it out there. Every gun that can have stickers on it does have an Astralis sticker on it for me.
Oh, really? That much of a fanboy?
Yeah, I just like the logo, actually, if I'm honest. And Dupree's quite nice to me and carries me in pugs sometimes. But I genuinely am going to side with Team Liquid here.
Is it because you want Astralis to win and you're trying to do like the reverse?
I'm not playing any games here. I just think the fact that Astralis will likely fall and beat Gambit should they concede, but also I think that Liquid are not to be trifled with right now. I think Taco's probably reinvigorated that team with somewhat of a steady hand and a bit more of an experienced. I mean, if you compare Steel and Taco, they're looking good juicy.
Yeah, okay, sure. From that experience standpoint, Taco's won a lot. More tournaments, right? He's been in that position, but I don't think in this kind of matchup, that's where it's going to shine through.
Watch.
Well, it's okay.
Watch. Because the casters will too. Let's see if any of them are going to be joining me in that Team Liquid camp. Yes, indeed. That what's it called? Knight. The Knight on the chessboard. What have you got for me, Hank and Vince?
I'm with Astralis, I'm afraid, Alex.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
For me, I think the way we saw them look earlier in the tournament, they can replicate some of that form. I'll be very excited for it. I think their Inferno game especially looked very good. But yes, Liquid are a bit of a dark horse here. I would say they are looking quite revitalized with Taki, seems to be fitting quite nicely. But yeah, a little bit too early, I think, to maybe be getting this deep in the tournament. I think Astralis in a best of 3 is a bit of a tall order.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm going with Astralis as well.
Screw you, Vince.
Sorry.
I never liked you anyway. I love
Sorry.
you.
I love Liquid. I want to be proven wrong, but I'm
we
going to go
don't have to be
Astralis.
nice to everyone, Vince. We're allowed to pick sides.
I've been casting with him since we were both didn't have any facial hair. That's how long ago it was.
You still don't.
Yeah, all right, Hank, let's look at that top lip again, shall we? Have a great cast.
Thank you very much. We'll be getting into this game. Okay, Vince, it will be Team Liquid the first time we've got to see Taco in this lineup, you and I, that is, and we'll get to see how he fits in. It seems like it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, Zeus knows how to nurture this talent, bringing Brazilians into the American roster, replacing Steel. Seemed like quite a simple transaction in that respect. And Taco, always a solid player in the terms of being a great support, the very definition of that role. So I'm hoping to see some great things from him. You've got some great firepower available in the Liquid squad, of course. Twist and Elige, some of the best North American talents available. And it's Taco in his green cheeky chap. And you'll see the vote results coming in 50-50. Nafly as well, what an amazing performances he's had in Liquid. There's the latest addition to Astralis, Magus Boy, and indeed the star player Device. I'm sure the AWP will be very influential here. I guess that's one thing that's a little bit difficult for Liquid overall. They don't really have the dedicated AWP, but they have Nitro bringing it out even when required. What are your thoughts on that?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part?
Oh, with the AWP situation for Liquid, they don't really have a dedicated AWP. It's Nitro that brings it out.
Sorry, my headphones went a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious how it'll pan out, because Astralis obviously a team that they've got Device to contend with. Device was pretty solid in the first map that we saw them play yesterday alongside Magisk. I am curious to see how that comes off, but then again, certain maps you don't necessarily need an AWP. We've seen some of them before as our preview screen has just exploded.
We still have the Go TV, Vin, so take it away.
Yes, we'll try and get this sorted. There we go. The preview screen is back again, although it's showing a replay, so this is actually live, apparently. Okay, let's do it. Can't see too much in terms of the overlay. There we go. We're finally back on board again. It's going to be Taco just in time to see him rattle off a few shots. May just straight back in onto Taco before Device opens up with his Glock. Elige is going to get destroyed. A player that I definitely expect to see a lot more from as this game goes on. But as it stands, Astralis in a post-plant scenario are going to be looking good to close this one out. There is a kit in the hands of Nitro. Speaking of the man, he's pounced in for a kill before the trades are back in favor of Astralis. Gonna be Device just hiding behind the short pillars, trying to bide his time. The bomb is planted for him. Nitro comes out with another one. Actually got the assist on his teammate, but now it's all down to Glaive. Can he stop this defuse long enough? Nitro's holding on to it, but he's still looking there. He's really trying to bait as if he's just going off the bomb, but Glaive was having none of it.
Yeah, really close finish to that one. Exciting finish as well. It looked like Astralis had the upper hand throughout that one, but great work by Nitro to give his team a chance to defuse. Did absolutely everything he could there, faking the defuse, fully committing, finding a kill, and then came right down to, I think, the final second on that defuse there before Glaive could find the killing shots. But there we have it. Astralis will win, and it will be Liquid with a force buy in the second. Execution here from Astralis. I'll line up the smokes towards CT spawn. Jungle in the steps, flash over and send those MAC-10s in first. Let's see if it works out for them.
Well, Zipex is not pulling any punches with his aggression. Straight through. Twist, in the meanwhile, going to get boosted up from Elige. Well, he's trying to get boosted up by Elige. Maybe a bit of mess around the communication. Dupree spraying up, but it is going to be the bomb plant. Another post plant with all 10 players alive. Not something you see too often. They do have the rotation through from Nitro, who's trying to get into ramp, but the damage may have already been inflicted to the rest of his team. He may not play any kind of an instrumental role in this retake. They also don't have a kit, Henry, so I mean, it's looking dire.
Yeah, it doesn't look amazing for them. I agree with you on that one. They might just want to see if they can get some exit frags here. Zipex presumably checks this one. Elige best him though. He is very low indeed. Looks like Device will be finishing off that shot. There it is. 4-on-2 now. Twist and Nitro just trying to save the CZ to this point. 2-0 Astralis, very efficient there. I prefer that approach. I don't mind tactics like that off the bat. The only problem I have on Mirage is when teams go for the full B rush on their second rounds against the CZ. That's where it's a very tight choke point, 1 point of entry, and it could all fall apart. But well played to Astralis. Good execution, solid stuff. Bit awkward from Liquid with the boost. Maybe that could have got them an early kill and they could have had a chance there. But Twist and Elige fumbling a little bit there. So this should be one of those rounds that doesn't have too much excitement, Vince. It will just be the CZ saving the previous round and the default weaponry.
Yeah, just to go on with what I was saying before, I'm kind of curious if Taco is going to unlock that raw potential of Elige. You know, it's been one of those things that's mentioned a lot about CORSAIR. Will he fare as well, and that Taco's no longer in the team?
Yeah.
Maybe this is where we really see the prowess of Elige come to fruition. Maybe Nafly, maybe Nitro can really pick it up and go crazy with it. But as you highlighted, this round, it should be a formality. Astralis should steamroll over this without too many issues. It's just 2 CZs. They do have Kevlar behind them, though. So if some kills do come down, they can get some weapons in their hands. Maybe something interesting can happen. But they're stacking over on the A side. So no great amount of action is going to be imminent.
5 on 5 again. Bomb planted. That will be the round over, I'm afraid, for Team Liquid fans. No chance of this retake working out for them, but still early days here. It's a best of 3 again. When we find themselves in the quarterfinals. CZ will be trying to be saved once again. Nitro and Twist want to stay alive here. That will help out significantly in the first gun round, saving the armor at least. And that'll save them $1,000. And Astralis can certainly hunt for the kills, especially the CZ and the MAC-10, even the UMP. And we'll see if they manage to find any of the players. It could be one of those rare rounds where all 10 players survive here, Vince.
It's not something you often see, but it makes sense for both teams really here just to hold off, because on the one hand, Astralis know there's not a great deal going through into the next round. Not worth losing one of these weapons, not worth giving some kill reward away, some more nades can come in. And on the other side, Team Liquid want to keep their Kevlar, and they don't want to die into these MAC-10s and UMPs where the kill reward really comes into fruition. So it kind of makes sense to get that stalemate.
Yeah, well, there we go. We've been calling that the unicorn rounds in Pro League. Round. So okay. Rare that 10 players survive, you know.
I'm on board with that.
So we like to have fun there, you know. As we get into the first gun round here, Nitro brings out the orb, and emphatic starter takes down Glaive. Great shot from the window. 5 on 4 now. Recovery mode for Astralis. Device still with the AWP, and Dupree only with the MAC-10. They've got the UMP up as well. So this is what we'd call a bonus round, just trying to shut down the CT economy best you can and try and find yourself that 5-0 with lots of money in the bag. If you can't win it, just bring it down to a close round would be good enough, just to keep the CTs relatively modest as we get deeper into this round.
That may look like it would actually do more damage. Just 31 chipped away from Magisk, who is going to return the favor, except he's going to go a whole lot further. Kill goes his way. Nitro misses out on his opportunity. There's heavy smokes, and Nafly's going to make the most of it. Darting out. I think he may have just landed a headshot on Magisk additionally before he died. So a lot of damage done from Nafly, keeping his team in amongst the hopes of taking this round. But Nitro does land the orb. Zipex, Magisk, 12 health remains, and he is going to be called upon. The newest player into the roster, not able to get the clutch, and that will be Liquid finally getting on the scoreboard.
Like we said, Vince, as long as it comes down to this sort of scenario, you found 3 kills, you've got the bomb down, you've got a great cash injection. The bomb will be defused, just to note. That was quite troublesome for Team Liquid, considering they had no kits. They were well played by Twist and Elise to survive and find a double AWP now on Mirage, which is very viable indeed. As we get into round number 5 here, we'll see what kind of situation Astralis find themselves in. Elise certainly starting to wake up now into the first map. Needed to convert this one. You can see the reinvestment of Team Liquid will leave them in a very difficult spot if they were to lose this round. Same story for Astralis, really. As Nitro goes back towards middle. 2 AWP kills in the previous round. Can he do anything more?
Interestingly, a double AWP as well for Liquid as they go for Taco and Nitro. So I'll be curious to see how they make this work. Taco's taking his over on the B side of the map, playing pretty much alone. Nafly on short, but playing aggressive. So if he were to get picked off, that would put a lot of pressure on Taco's shoulders. And with an AWP close range, not necessarily the greatest of weapons. So Nafly thinks better of his aggression. He will back away. Only 2 flashes remaining for Liquid, and there's still a lot of time to play with. They're going to try and boost inside the smoke on window. And this is vacated by Liquid, so there's going to be some information gathered from Astralis. If they can get this kill to Elise, they can really crack into this site.
We'll see. Good default so far. The A split looking very likely here. 2 players at the A ramp. Dupree with the connector control. Best setup you can really get in towards when it's 2 AWPs up against you. They can smoke off CT spawn and make Nitro almost useless at this point. That would be fantastic. Twist waiting close to the A ramp, hopefully baited in by the AWP.
Still 10 players alive. Just over 30 seconds. Bomb in the hands of Zipex, who is making a move through ramp. He is joined by Device. 25 seconds. Frags are coming into fruition, but it's going to go the way of the CTs, and it's all on Glaive. Bomb, opposite side of Sandwich. And he is screwed. It's Nitro that puts the final nail in the coffin. Solid hold by Liquid.
Absolutely. You could see Astralis there, what their intent was with the players in towards connector 2 of the A round. They simply didn't really have the utility to pull that one off. I thought Nitro would at least be smoked out or flashed off. He had full control of the bomb site, hit some decent up shots there, and they didn't really get out of the connector at all. Elige did 1.5 in terms of kills. He managed to cleanly take one down, inflict damage to the second. That was enough, the rotations in. Nitro stopped the bomb from being planted, and that's looking very good for Team Liquid here. They are looking efficient. Just a note on the Taco thing, there was about a 3-month period in SK Gaming where he was the secondary AWPer to Fallen. He took over the role from CORSAIR. So he definitely is capable of doing it. It's certainly not a world-class AWPer, but holding anchor positions like B, it's good for one frag and just falling back and playing smart Counter-Strike.
Fortunately, for Liquid, wasn't really required. It was all about A,
Yes.
A slow round. So we'll have to see if Taco goes and gets tested this round. No reason to assume that he won't go to the exact same position. Trying to think if they heard both AWPs actually fire in that round, if Astralis would know that's coming up.
Well, they did know Device did drop the AWP in the previous as where they picked it up. So you can safely assume most CT sides would take both AWPs. But yeah, you can't be 100% certain, I guess. That's fair. Taco will indeed be in the same position to Elige towards top and middle this time, waiting for Glaive. And Astralis have partially bought into this round. CZ's armor and a smoke grenade to work with here. Much slower this time. Device waits on the A ramp. He's got a deagle, while his teammates try and get towards underpass, and I think they're towards top and middle.
Nafly just catches a glimpse of the oncoming staircase player. Now he's going to back away. Elige is already here, perched in position, just waiting to strike, waiting for someone to push him. And he may have his wish granted. Glaive and Zipex going to be peeking in. Elige knows it. He needs to make sure he doesn't get too aggressive. And now that he's been dinked, that is the red light in his eyes. He has to just back away. If Dupree can do some damage, this could get Liquid into a pretty shaky position. But the nades are going to somewhat stop the aggression from Astralis. The Danes on the back foot. Magisk put down. 30 seconds left. Bomb now moving, transitioning through ramp. Should be mentioned that Device has made quite a bit of ground on A. So it's not really completely dry. Nitro, in the meanwhile, missed his chance. Twist's been tagged down low, joining Elige close to death, and he's actually been knocked off his mortal coil as Dupree goes in for another one. Nafly trades back, and now it's all on Zipex and Glaive. 12 health between the two of them. Post-plant scenario, and make that 0. Liquid will get the successful retake.
They certainly do. 3-3, it's all tied up now after losing the pistol. Fair play to Astralis to get a bomb down there and a couple of kills. Dupree picking up the AK-47, could have been dangerous towards jungle, but not quite enough, I'm afraid. And Liquid are looking very good here on the CT side, I have to say. Since the gun rounds have begun, they have been running away with the show. We'll be in round number 7 here. All available for Device once again. We're in round number 7, and Device has 3 kills to his name. Dupree a little bit quiet on 1 and 4, but still very early days. You can see all the scores on the screen right now. Nitro still the AWP looking towards middle, jumps up on the post, and will be throwing a grenade as he sees the smoke coming towards window. Does a bit of damage towards Dupree and Glaive. Flashbangs coming in and fast mid control achieved by Astralis here, looking to knock down the connector, going through the smoke. It looked great on the X-ray, but obviously the wall blocking the damage. Device with the first shot. Takes down Nafly, but can't find the follow-up. Taco equalizing things.
Finally, that second AWP is going to amount to something for Liquid. No fault of Taco's, he just simply hasn't really been pressured so far, so it's good to see that he's able to get a second now on Magisk. Bomb moving over towards B side, but can easily wrap itself through underpass. Glaive with short control. This could be the gateway, this could be the hope of Astralis to get a 4th round and make it theirs, because the last 3 rounds have been pretty smooth sailing for Liquid. The last 2 of them lost 3 players collectively, so their economy is building up nicely at this stage. Pressure mounts for Astralis. Dupree has managed to get out to jungle, though, pretty much uncontested.
Nitro's watching it, though. He's in the kitchen. He's aware of the possibility, but he might not know that Dupree has actually snuck in behind the A side. Luckily, no one exposed. As Nitro changes his attention towards B. It's not clear Astralis want to finish right now. Bombs in the B apartments, but time ticking away here, Vince. Zipex will be waiting for his cue to enter towards B. Dupree seems to be in a good position, but Elige and Nitro watching that vent very closely.
It's a solid flick by Taco. 15 seconds now. And any hope of Zipex getting out onto the B side has been pretty much destroyed.
How does he get out now?
That's the question, isn't it? Or
over.
does he even try and get out? I think they decide they don't want to die after time. They want to keep the economy going forward, keep these weapons. They have an AWP in the hands of Zipex, so it does allow them to come back again stronger in the next round. That's 4 in a row now for Liquid.
Absolutely is. They're looking like they're in full control of every single play and movement on the map so far. Taco, that's what I'm talking about. Nothing too flashy, just solid shots. The ones he should be hitting, holds them off. They can't even get close to it to be, and Zipex has had to save his weapon there. And they'll be down to Deagles, AKs, and the AWP. Smoke towards short, and Elige will do what he can with the M4A4 towards middle here. Grenade thrown, trying to do some damage at the start. Nothing landed. MP9 for twists. They have plenty of money to drop him a rifle, but he feels like he can cause more damage close range to the A ramp with the MP9 in hand. Device looking for anyone pushing through that smoke.
Double Deags for Astralis. A little bit more bare bones than I was anticipating. They do have 2 AKs, and of course, the saved AWP from the last round, and the very capable hands of Device. He's about to get pushed. The MP9 from Twists. Going to destroy him.
Yeah, they seem to have their number. That was a play knowing that Device could be on the A ramp, and it worked perfectly. They won't pick up the third AWP, but they've taken it out of the hands of Astralis. Nafly, so good in these sort of plays. Knows that people could be coming through. They boost up smartly, but he sees the gun barrel and executes Dupree.
The woes continue for Astralis. The save in the previous round not really proving to be fruitful at all. Zipex caught in the backside. Well, pardon me, it was actually just catching Nafly in the backside, and now Zipex goes in with his Deagle, so suddenly things are getting a little bit more possible. 30 seconds, though. Again, not the first time we've seen Astralis really using every second of their allocated time, but Taco is proving to be an impenetrable fortress on the B site. He is not missing. Magisk, bomb needs to be collected. Players need to be fragged. There's one of them, so he's at least going to make this a little bit more costly. He could get back to the site and have enough time to plant, but he's going to have to hold on. A plant for short, he will be safe. The position's not able to stop him on the plant, but Nitro's able to pick him off as soon as he gets it done and gives him a little stab for good measure.
Yeah, that was a bold move for Nitro. If he doesn't pull that shot off, could have got very awkward indeed, but he nails the shots. Plant does go down from Astralis. With the loss bonus and maximum now, they will have another buy available here. But they haven't posted a round since winning the pistol and converting it to the 0 and 3. And we'll have AKs now. Not enough to quite buy the AWP there. And Device hasn't really been setting the world on fire with it. 4 kills and 6 deaths. It's Nitro's been the MVP so far. What a great half from him. Seems like that AWP addition, being more of a hybrid style, is working out very nicely. That grenade does significant damage towards the aforementioned Device. And in terms of the play, another default from Astralis here. 3 players towards middle, bombs there as well. Zipex given the task of holding A, and they just firing off some shots towards the B apartments. Maybe hitting some of them as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, the way that Taco's been holding down B, you can never expect him to land that shot, but take nothing away from Magisk. That's a hell of an entry. Astralis instantly calling that the rotation will come in from Liquid and trying to make the most of it onto A. The downside, though, it's still 2 players here. It's going to be Twists and Nitro. Nitro, of course, in form, 9 and 2 so far. Twists holding it down from CT boxes. Only the one smoke for Astralis to use, so they're going to barrel out without any utility. They are landing headshots onto Twist, who's standing tall for 1, but that's not going to be good enough. Nafly on short, can't get it done onto Magisk, who picks up a 3rd. And finally, Astralis win a rifle round.
Well, there it is, the first one they've posted. They lose 5 rounds in a row, but that was much more convincing. Managing to get that opening pick and staying as a tight unit towards the A site. It was Taka that went down at the B bomb site there. May just had a mission to try and find the AWP. That's a brave play to make, walking into the window there. Great shot from him, obviously got confidence within itself. And the money actually, you'd think would be much stronger for Liquid, but it's not really. This is their final buy. Nafly's even had to take an SMG here. No double AWP anymore. Nitro's got a gap in the smoke though, but they are setting themselves up for a B execution here from what I can see. Astralis, they have got players with the flashbangs out, maybe not even dropping smokes, just go for a contact play, flash over and try to get in as fast as possible.
Taco able to put a flash down though. This is trying to buy up valuable time, but Nafly can't strike. Full on Taco spoilt for choice. Too many players, too many angles. And he will go down as a result. Dupree aggressively into kitchen. trying to thwart any potential at a retake. And it has been successful. Team Liquid are piecing out.
Yeah, well, Astralis starting to look much more efficient here. They've spotted the weakness in the defense. You'll see this a lot in some of these big games like this. If you know a team has just brought a new addition in, or an in-game leader plays a certain part of the map, or someone like a support player is in towards B and they're anchoring that side, you want to try and bully us, and all 5 players there for a couple of rounds, that's going to work. And once you've kind of hit that fear in towards Team Liquid, they'll start changing their defaults. They'll start bringing an extra player into back Taco up. Then you go back to yours, and you can really disrupt their defense there. So that's quite intelligent from Astralis. Just keep focusing on where Taco might be. Take him down. Taco gets 1 kill, but that's the only kill picked up in the round. Bomb planted, and Elise might get both of these. Can't do it. Dupree does find the kill. Looking for another one. That's ambitious, to say the least. But there it is. Astralis who tie things up and break the money down of Team Liquid here. All they have saved is 1 M4A4. That's in the hands of Twists. They had that great run of rounds, but now things getting a little bit uncomfortable once again. The analysts pointed it out. They said, Mirage, that was a 50-50. They felt like Overpass was a lock-in for Astralis here. So I feel like Liquid really do need to pick this one up. They can't afford to go down 1-0 to open up the best of 3. Twists, great work, does hit down Glaive, and that's going to give them a man advantage and another rifle to work with.
It's going to be Twist, the only player with Kevlar that's down to 19, however. Still a great start for Liquid, all things considered.
Oh yes, and it funnels them towards B here, Astralis that is. And they're rotating, anticipating this.
Already moved in. Taco's here with his Deagle. Now Twist is going to join. Nafly making a move. Metro's not far behind. Twist has done so much work with such low health. Unbelievable. Is it going to be enough to clutch the round? It's looking likely. Device has gone down to the backside. Twist, take a bow. That was beautiful.
That really was. Fantastic play. Well positioned as well. It's all about the positioning. He's got Taco holding that tight angle, who's safe as well. He takes the attention away from Twist. He wants to set up that turret, the M4, which can't really move. It's low HP, can only play this one position to show his head and hopefully spray them down. Perfectly done. Great round from Team Liquid. And everything's back on again. They'll take the lead 6-5. The money's okay. And everyone's got a full buy. No AWP available for the CTs, but Device brings his out. Round number 12. It's been quite a fast first half here. As Device will be Molotov'd out of position. Won't be able to commit to that just yet. And Dupree trying to get in that connector.
Needs to be also careful with his lack of Kevlar too. He is very much a glass cannon at this stage. He's going to pounce for the first kill. Not able to post up a second just yet. But Dupree in the meanwhile has found himself lacking. We put on the subs bench for the time being until round 13. Again, though, Glaive is making a lot of inroads onto short. This isn't the first time we've seen this. Maybe this is a direct result, as you said, from B being a bit weaker and Liquid changing their tactics as a result, that they're leaving the likes of short open.
Well, Nafly is on the window, as you can see, with Taco trying to give a bit of a backup in this position. Taco with the AK-47 this time. Molotov out of position. It's up to Nafly to back him up. Do Astralis commit? It seems like Nitro gets another. And Liquid maintain the man advantage here. Great work by Nafly, just killing absolutely everyone from this bench.
Excellent work. Device, though, still alive, still 35 seconds. A player of his caliber is never without chance. However, he may have just missed it. A kill was presented to him on a golden plate, and he wasn't able to grab onto it. Now his position's compromised, and Nitro can move in for the kill. So Liquid retain their winning ways, posting 2 up in a row, and it looks like Astralis will be back into eco territory.
Absolutely. Team Liquid looking very strong now. Last couple of rounds, especially Twists. What a phenomenal play that was at the M4A4. Astralis find themselves in a sticky situation. PT-50s, Deagles, and a couple of Glocks thrown in for good measure. No armor, no nades. It's unlikely they do anything at all. They maybe get 1 or 2 kills. That would be it. That was a good chance for Glaive, but Elige finds the first pick.
That nade looked like it may have done more damage to Dupree, but it doesn't really matter. The MP9 will silence him all the same. Twist is going to spot 1 in Palace and 1 ramp. And Astralis living on borrowed time. If they can get a kill from here, it would be pretty much all they can ask for. Elige, 2 health. Not going to happen. A clean sweep for Liquid. It was laboured, but they got there.
Pause will come in. There's Zeus, probably very happy with what he's seen so far. Even after losing the pistol, they are up 8-5 right now. And this Team Liquid, I don't think anyone's expecting too much coming to this tournament from them. Obviously, Taco, I think I spoke to him in the lobby the other night. He said they've had 5 days practice really with this current lineup. They've kind of mixed their time between obviously theory and practicing, trying to get the best of both worlds, focus on a few maps they want to play, and then just use the fundamentals Liquid already had to slot Taco in. It's obviously a very difficult task coming into a top tier event like this with so much of the top end of the scene here. But so far, so good. And against Astralis, who have looked hot this event, they've looked very good. And they're looking a little bit out of their comfort zone right now. 8-5, for winning the pistol, remember. And a Galil for Dupree. Might be 10-5 half at this point. The change of pace as the CT gets down in towards that underpass.
Liquid really trying to take it to Astralis in the CT rounds. We've seen Unleashed time and time again playing aggressively, typically through the mid, now up through underpass. And Device has a nade out. If Unleashed can just get him in the right time, he'll get him in. Well, Device, that was really close. He just about spun around, but not quite quick enough. Magisk and Glaive, though, go into Elige and Taco. And for all of the heroics of Elige, it has been pretty much neutralized and then some. Bomb onto B site. Hasn't been planted yet. It's being stalled out for as long as possible, and this could give Liquid a chance. They've got themselves Nafly, who's making a move towards the short side. But he's gone down, and with him, a two-dimensional retake should fall short. Both clumped up in kitchen, solid positions have been taken. That nade could definitely put a wrench in the works, and Twist is going to just barrel straight out. Did a phenomenal job earlier to clutch his team the round, but not this time.
Well, there we have it, Vince. It will be Astralis with a successful B approach there. I like the idea from Elige, but obviously it's such an all-in play from himself. He has no one to back him up. He has to go through the underpass and fully commit to trying to backstab them as they go for their B play. He does get one, but it gets answered back almost straight away. It wasn't quite good enough in that respect, but Magisk Boy does get one of the penultimate frags, and it will be Astralis to get another on the board. It's round number 15. You can see what Elige is trying to do there. He drops the incendiary to try and block the smoke from being successful, and you can see that has worked perfectly. Nitro can now see towards short, but that may be to his demise, as he will be taken down by Dupree. Now Flight answers back quickly, but that's a really cool play. I was talking about that with someone yesterday as well. That more people should be doing that to actually get vision.
Yeah, I believe it was Short Guess that brought that up. I think I heard you guys talking about it, and yeah, it was really cool to see. Unfortunately, though, Nitro wasn't able to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But A for effort. Meanwhile, Elige has gone down. Taco and Nafly. A minute and 12 seconds to try and whittle away as best as they can, and it seems like they've won the Battle of A, but likely will lose the war of round 15.
I think he might be spot on. And it's going to be Astralis making their way back towards the B site. Device watching for any rotations. A little bit awkward here, but grenades away, son. As he'll fall back unscathed, that's fine. He's got the intel. They're going to be winning this round. It's going to be 8-7. Nothing really splitting these two teams, but obviously no chances of saving anything. Now they'll try and do everything they can here from short.
Hold the phones for a second, because with Nafly getting that kill, albeit just after the bomb plant, this now puts the round back up on the table for debate again. Now, Device should be the favorite to claim the kill onto Taco if he peeks, but he's having second thoughts. He's getting cold feet about Kitchen, and that's allowing Taco to move in. This could just be a raw timing play. Device, he's been caught out in the open, and Taco's going to pounce. Keep in mind that Magisk has only got 12 health. Time is getting pretty scarce, though, for the retake. Liquid's got to make a move. Taco's picked up another one. It's all down to this, and he doesn't have a kit. The round is done. Nice try. Not quite good enough, though. 8-7 will be the score.
Absolutely right. Taco did everything he could towards the end there, but like he said, no kid. Bit of a desperate time for himself. Magisk Boy, what a great half he ended up having. Vince, he finishes on 16 kills, 12 deaths. The closest to him, in fact, everyone else is on 6 frags for Astralis. So he had an absolutely monstrous first half there. After they had a slump of 5 rounds going against them, he kept applying the pressure and winning our rounds, especially the last 2 towards the end. Now Flight, not a bad game from him either. 12-9. At the very top for Team Liquid is Nitro. Nitro, 13 kills, 6 deaths. Even Twists, he's got 8 kills at the very bottom after even getting that very impressive 3K towards the B site. Didn't really do much else. So anyone's game though. We'll see what happens in the second half. I think both teams will be relatively comfortable with it. It's Team Liquid on the more preferred side getting 8, Astralis on Terrorist side posting 7. No, if they win the pistol, they're right back in it.
Absolutely, and to put that in context as well, as you say, Mage just head and shoulders above the rest of his team. Every single player on Liquid has more kills than the rest of Astralis.
Yeah.
Everybody. So this has been as individual as an effort as you could ask for. However, now that the roles are reversed on the CT side, you're expecting the likes of Device, you're expecting the likes of Zipex to really step up and start to deliver.
Zipex in that B-bomb site is really difficult to shut down. That is not a weakness. Glaive will be challenged first. A fast A approach. It's up to Mages to try and find more kills here.
Oh, it's not going to happen. The way he's been playing, you really fancied him to at least get 1 kill from there. Dupree is clumped up with a teammate in window, and that's going to be Device, who witnesses firsthand his brother falling down that weren't expecting a double stack. So it's going to allow Astralis to claw their way back into another kill. But it's a post-plant without the kit. No nades. As rough as it gets. Going to have to go for raw kills. There's the first. That's going to breed a bit of confidence. And a second, it's all down to Nafly. He has to just try and bide his time and ramp and hope for the best. It's not going to happen. Astralis have actually pulled it off.
Device with 3 kills. That's more like it from him. The defuse just come in just to confirm Zipex will get it without the kits. CZ for Device. He's been doing that more and more recently. Not many players will upgrade the USP or the P2000 in the first round, simply because you don't really have to. But the CZ, in certain situations, if you want to get a bit more stuck in, have some more damage, yeah, maybe it does make a lot of sense. And you can spray down multiple opponents, and he managed to get 3 kills in total and tie things up 8-8. Bomb planted for Liquid means they'll be full eco in round number 2 and bring out the AKs in the third. So Vince, I'm afraid nothing too exciting will happen in this particular round, but it's all building up for number 3.
It's like a slow burner, a slow cooker right now. Where Liquid, if they get a bomb plant, excellent. That's pretty much what they're hoping for, but it's not going to be a rush, as you can see indicated by the fact the bomb's been dropped out towards T side of mid. So Liquid really just trying to feel out, try and waste as many nades that Astralis have as possible. But in terms of this round, as you say, I would be completely baffled if Astralis somehow lost this. And, well, Dupree, he's hungry, he wants the kills. Leech is going to take him down, though. But it's only an MP9 that they can pick up feasibly. It is the worst weapon that Astralis currently possesses. Not the greatest against armor. So it's a pretty expendable weapon that they pick up. Astralis won't be sweating about that.
Yeah, doesn't really change the outcome of the round here. The MP9 given up. Taco, Glock, no armor. About as low as it gets. Fly and Nitro do have the P250s though. Being very slow. We discussed this idea yesterday of just bleeding out all the grenades you can on these sort of rounds, just to kind of force reinvestment to the next round. So it's not as clean as Rush B, and they don't have to use any of the grenades. They keep a lot of money in that respect. So this is smart, although a little bit tedious to watch at times. Maybe not so much anymore. Elise doesn't get the frag, but Nitro converts it.
This is getting way too close for comfort. The fact they picked up an M4, if that kill goes the way of Liquid, that could have been it done. Magisk, in the meanwhile, just has to hold down, wait for Zipex to make a move. A bomb plant has gone out. I can't believe we're even in this position. The fact that Liquid have got a plant and 3 kills with Glocks and P250s is astounding. Taco's not out of this just yet, but let's face it, he's got a Glock against 2 healthy players who are now going for the defuse. And understandably, Taco doesn't want any part of this.
He might as well deny them the $300. I guess that's all he can do. He doesn't save anything, but it's better than handing money over for free. That's the only thinking behind it. He knows he can't do anything there. But fair play to Nitro. The P250 works sensational after a leash. Did the initial damage. That second kill made things very uncomfortable. I'm glad I said at the start, these rounds usually not going to be much to talk about, but the fact that Nitro does that just shows the significance and how hard that is to actually operate in that sort of manner. So well played to him. And Dupree trying to push the envelope towards middle, going to be pushing up and trying to find who's on the other side. It will be a Liege. Nitro and Twist all waiting for him. And Device in the connector with the AWP as he brings it out for the first time here in the second half.
As a result of those kills, 3 players on Astralis, now $300 or below.
Yes, and they've got no helmet for Dupree. Not a big deal against the AKs, but you can see they are making compromises for Mass for Zipex. Glaive on UMP, it's not looking good.
So you can see the domino knock-on effect from getting those kills. And Liege, again, Going to go aggressive. It was a position that he played quite a bit on the CT side. So very aware of it, cognizant of the fact someone could be there. Nice Molotov, going to force back Device. Throw a smoke in to extinguish the flames. Another one goes into window. Liquid really trying to take as much of a stranglehold over mid as possible. Also, they must realize that as a result of those kills, there is going to be a lack of grenades going forward. So just one smoke left, actually, for Astralis. And that's just been tossed out by Glaive. This is looking rough, Henry.
It is a little bit. The UMP now gone. Glaive will pick up the M4. Zipex still on the FAMAS. Device really needs to step up here. Good boost, and even better now as Elise will take down Glaive in the process. Now a 5-on-3. Dare I say it, Liquid look very, very good so far on Mirage, and Zipex will struggle to do even any damage there towards the connector.
May just playing possum for the time being, just hiding in. Smoke's going to be greeting him. 5 seconds though. Just one kill could have changed the whole dynamic of this round. It's not to be. Liquid will get the plant. It's looking like we're going to go to equality once more at 9 apiece, unless Zipex and Device have something to say about it, and their mouth is firmly shut. They're in for a save instead.
Yeah, you're right. The 5 seconds on the clock, if that kill from CT Spawn had been on the planter, that could have been a different scenario altogether, but not going to be the case. Device gets one, Magisk with the other kill. No one else can really put up much of a fight. And like I said earlier, in the Na'Vi series, every kill in Counter-Strike has a knock-on effect. And those couple of kills they got on the full eco round, Nitro, the P250, really did make things difficult for Astralis in the first gun round. FAMAS, UMP, lack of... There it is, Glaive dropped. And what's the play from Astralis here? Didn't take a pause. They'll have Glaive on the CZ. Trying to save the AWP and an M4, remember. They'll force bite around those. And this is another very tough situation. Pricing the connector this time, looking for anyone crossing towards the mid-boxes.
No one's home just yet. Last round, a Molotov greeted him. This time not the case. Liquid trying to hatch a master plan over on B. Zipex is going to get tested. Did discuss this before, though. He's a phenomenal B player. But a flashbang illuminating his vision is going to put this to a very tough task, and he's not able to deliver. Both Taco and Olise chime in for kills, and this round is done before it's even really begun for Astralis. They had no chance at stopping that. And now that they have Device, Magisk, and Glaive without a kit, without nades other than a smoke and a flash, surely they're going to pull the plug once more. Yeah, I mean, the position, for example, of Magisk pretty much sums it up. He's way back towards A site around ramp. They are done with this round.
Absolutely are. 5-on-3. Device, Magisk, and Glaive will just have to hold on to their weaponry. Clean sheets for Liquid once again in round number 19. The B bomb site seems to be a bit of an issue for both teams here, as the bomb will be going off. And Astralis, some good news is the fact they do save 3 weapons, one of which was the AWP. Glaive has a bit of utility in his back pocket, but Zeus is quite comfortable with this one. Score in the second half so far, 2-2. Astralis pick up the pistol again. They've won both pistols in this map so far, and they don't look like the more convincing team.
Just makes you think, had they not won those pistols, what kind of a scoreline would we be looking at right now? Could be a whole different ballgame altogether.
Indeed. Well, Zipex does have the money to buy a bit more than a P250, but he's looking at the bigger picture right now. They don't want to just keep force buying in. They want to save some cash, and they'll have to see what they can do with the saved weaponry here.
Aggressive take by Liquid. The fast plays have been typically yielding more for them. Even the rounds they've lost, they've been taking mass casualties. Astralis. Elise perforating the head of Magisk. Nitro has been eviscerated, but it's Astralis that are certainly struggling to gasp for oxygen with round 20. The firepower is just simply not up to scratch compared to Liquid's. And Elise is doing so much work here on jungle by himself. Meanwhile, the bomb is traversing slowly but surely through on the B app side. So Elise is finally going to meet his demise. And Zipex tries to get the opportunistic one-tap.
Yeah, that didn't look like it was ever going to work out, but he has to at least try and put up some sort of defense. It's like a Liquid round all day long. Nafly, without bloodlust right now, wants to find more and more, and it looks like he's going to get it. Device surely has to save the AWP, and Zipex can't really help him out.
Yeah, they're out of that. Will allow them to get a purchase in the next round. 2 rounds of loss bonus coming up. A third to follow. So saving these 2 should allow them some opportunities. But the problem really hasn't been weapons. It's been the fact that their rifle rounds have just been going pretty horribly awry so far.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And it's every single round, it seems like they'll get an opening pick, it'll be instantly traded back. Then they can't hold into a defense. The B side, and she has looked a little bit sloppy so far. And Astralis will save the AWP and an M4 just to know with a decent buy ahead of them. So not out of it just yet, but like we said, Astralis have won both pistols here, and Liquid have looked all around the better package, I would say, in terms of the raw full gun rounds. We're not really looking at those force buys or anything like that, but there's a lead getting done with the AK. AWP out again for Device. 5 AKs for Team Liquid. They got a full buy, of course, after winning the previous round. Smoke in, boosting Device up to get a position towards short. All players will risk taking the jump out the window. If you miss it though, you're out of luck. Zipex, see if he can start stepping it up in B. He'll have Dupree with him towards short and Device, remember.
A flashbang by Zipex did land in the eyes of multiple players, but Nitro again. Consistently solid so far, Mirage, with a crisp entry frag. Dupree with 2, but a nade will silence him. And again, there's trouble on B side for Astralis. Not the first time we've seen it, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But Liquid, they are moving the bomb back. Interestingly enough, although Elige was already down on the site towards the short side, it looks like they are going to completely pull out.
Yeah, and they've got time as well. You can see the CTs actually waiting in the B bomb site. Glaive has to stay there, of course. And Magus with the horrible thought of, like, do I just go back to A by myself? Leave my teammate here. The doubt starting to set in. Elige watching the rotations from window. Glaive will be pushing short, and there he is, ready and waiting. Fantastic stuff from Elige. What amazing awareness that was. Magus almost got 0 chance.
Did stop the bomb plant, which is going to be a tilting moment for Taco, but Nafly will silence Astralis' hopes of getting the clutch. 12-9, and the rifle rounds issues continue. In terms of the economy, they're in shape to maybe get some kind of a half buy down, but that's pretty much all they can hope for. So Liquids, they're romping towards that finish line now. They're gathering speed.
Yeah, I think that's very fair to say. They're at 4th stage loss bonus, Astralis that is. They'll be going for the partial buy here, the CZs, the Deagles. We'll have a look at the tactical setup from Team Liquid. Very disciplined stuff, slow default, no one committing to a choke point here. Nafly in the Palace, right at the back, not hunting for frags. Taco, same story at the A ramp. No one overcommitting towards middle until they've used their utility at the very start. Throwing the flashbangs, no smoke support just yet. Trying to get information as to where any CTs are going aggressive and anyone pushing towards middle. Taco, his patience pays off as he takes down Glaive, who was trying to get anything going towards that A ramp.
He got the information, but it was at the cost of his life, and not really useful considering how much time remains. So Astralis have to flip a coin, have to roll the dice at some point. CZ's and a Deagle, Kevlar stacked behind it. There's really the lack of nades and kits that's going to be the issue here as the round proceeds. Molotov into ladder is going to force Dupree out into the open. He may not make it. He's going to burn alive beforehand. Awkward.
Stacked Molotovs.
Nitro aggressively through connector. Magisk is waiting there. Bomb starting to make a move over on the B side. It seems that Liquid have just been making the perfect calls time in, time out.
It's a really nice tactical game, but Device doesn't need any tactics. He just wants headshots as he looks towards short. Actually executes Nitro there. They thought they were safe, but they're not out of the woods just yet. Device adds another 3 in total now in this round. They actually take the man advantage.
Zipex waiting for his moment to strike and twist. Going to make that decision a whole lot easier. Nafly, last player left, has no chance to get to the bomb in time.
Yeah,
he's out. The Strauss have done it.
Device stepping up tremendously there. Felt like they were almost rolling over on this map. There was nothing really left after losing 4 rounds in a row. It's the partial buy, though, and Device finding 3 kills should reignite the hopes of Astralis here, as they will have very strong money indeed. They've got a couple of AKs to work with now, and even the first kill was going in Liquid's favor. But then a few mistakes made. Taco over-committing towards the A ramp there. Device catching the players out towards short, and then getting that 3rd kill, the follow-up. And then at that point, Twist had no choice. He had about 15 seconds on the board, and his teammate wasn't with him. Jumped out towards B with the bomb and landed into the warm embrace of the CZ as we go into the next round. Glaive, this time, will be holding with the AK-47. Astralis need to find consecutive rounds now.
Well, they're in desperation mode. Need to make sure that the momentum continues to be on their side. Losing now would be a catastrophe. Device holding the close angle, the narrow angle as the smoke is going to land right next to him, completely denying him of any vision. Elysian, meanwhile, gets pop flashed into connector, and Glaive is a goner. So once again, Team Liquid just briskly moving into mid, simultaneously shutting down all the angles, taking control. And this also, in turn, systematically puts more pressure on B, because now you have no control over mid, you have no control over short. It's just accentuating all the problems that Astralis currently have. Device is going to land a nice shot into Twist, but they're going to be able to capitalize off of it.
4-on-4, Vince. dupreeh, 1 HP. Taka will be bringing the bomb round from the apartments now. Zipex will be waiting, not anchoring solo this time. Has got dupreeh at the bench. And he's got that very low HP. He's hoping Zipex can bait him in and take that aggro away. As Liege makes the final move, can dupreeh do anything with this?
Zipex holding down the spray, but Liege is too close. The angle was too wide for Zipex to traverse. Device in the meanwhile with one. He gets silenced. dupreeh from the shadows will strike for one. And a second through the smoke. Astralis just one player away from making this clutch a reality and getting back on track. Nafly, though, post-plan, is going to pick up the first onto the weekend. dupreeh looks for the second spray, gets it! Nafly will clutch it out and break Astralis once more.
My God, I thought that was enough from dupreeh. It was so intelligent, doing everything they could with nothing. He had 1 HP. He gets baited into the bench. He waits like 6 or 7 seconds before exposing himself. Comes out, takes down the planter after he got the bomb down. And dupreeh, that second kill for the smoke, you'd think that's got to be it now. But Nafly, he's been playing so well for Team Liquid for so many months now. Wins the 2-on-1. And there he is. Huge round for them to win. Absolutely massive. 13-10. And that was a tactical timeout, just to note. And we can confirm Astralis are forcing into this round, Vince, and it does not look pretty. 2 CZs, a FAMAS, an M4A4, no kits, and a dupreeh glass cannon AWP. What is going on right now?
They must think that Liquid are on bare bones economy themselves and can maybe turn the ship around. This is kind of a desperation all in at this point. If it doesn't pay off, though, Henry, I mean, this could be the map. Glaive down to 10. So the force buy early doors not looking great.
Well, rounds have been won with a lot less. That's all I'll say. dupreeh, though, that's the interesting one for me. Why he gets the AWP and Device doesn't. They tried this out at the major. It didn't really go too well for them. He'll be trying to do his best from short. Glaive already tagged up. Taco just getting intel. Slowly does it. Got himself at the A round, and now fly defensive in the Palace again. CTs, 2 players in B. dupreeh actually gets in towards the B apartments. Looking to use that narrow gap, but do you know what? He's deleted. Twist just removes him, and that's the AWP gone. That was their secret weapon, their firepower. And it's just completely destroyed. I have no idea how Twist out-duels him in that particular angle, but there we have it. 5-on-4 in favor of Team Liquid.
Well, the glass of dupreeh has certainly been shattered. And with it, Astralis surely will follow suit. It's all a Magisk. He's by himself. Only a CZ. I say only a CZ. Currently, it's ridiculous. But even for a player of his caliber, this is asking so much. Glaive's gone. He also perches up onto the ladder just to give him a different angle. The headshot wasn't as easily attainable for Liege. They line up for Zipex, but he's only able to get one. Cometh Device, and he's going to drop the bomb. 14 seconds left. Tries to get the flick through. Triple box, and it was so close yet so far. Twist is just going to hold down on the plant. And now this quickly shifts in Team Liquid's favor. It's Device. All the onus is on him to come out into the open.
This is so well played from Twist. The fact he gets towards jungle now. Took balls of steel to get that bomb planted, and now Device knows where he is, but it's too late. Twist pays it to perfection. 3 kills in total and keeps applying the pressure as he tries to bury Astralis. That was their force buy, Vince. It's left them 14-10 down. What is the play at this point? Do you force buy? Do you risk losing the game, or do you take the eco and let them get map points? That's the play from Twist I wanted to see. That was nuts. The fact he outdueled Dupree with the AWP and finishes things off as well. Twist, a bit of an enigma within the CSGO scene of North America, and it looks like they have taken the full eco option.
They've taken it on the chin. They will be 5 rounds required in a row for Astralis to keep their heads above water on Mirage. A map that the analyst desk said Liquid simply had to win. Now it looks like they're going to do just that. Zipex may have a final twist in the tail, though, as he will dispatch Team Liquid's twists. And now 3 health on Dupree, 57 on Magisk. Is this feasible in any way? In any universe could they actually pull this off? Surely not. It's going to be Liquid picking up a 15th round. And even then, in the next round, I mean, Astralis wouldn't have anything too amazing in terms of a buy. Lige is going to be charging up first. Magisk is going to get it with the USP, but that should be all she wrote for this round. Zipex, though, from CT boxes is doing damage. Magisk finally falls. There is a lot of damage inflicted to Taco, though. This is where a P250 could very well pull it off. This would be ridiculous if he can do it, and he's not able to. Nice try, but it will be 15-10.
A bit too close for comfort there, but the result does come in. Liquid find map point first. Perfect second half from them. Remember, they've lost both pistols on this map. Scoreline currently 7-3 in the second half. Dupree, I've seen that face before. He knows what's potentially around the corner. No AWP available this time for Astralis. A bare bones buy. 4 players without helmets, 1 with the kids. Barely the utility required to have a full gun round here, but they'll do what they can. Twists on the AWP this time as he holds towards top and middle. 1 more round will do it for Team Liquid. Right, the analyst did say it's a must-win round, considering Overpass was next, and there's Cash to close things out. And Astralis have never looked particularly strong on Cash. This could be dangerous for them. That's North American home turf, really. Cash, that's where some of the teams do their best work.
Well, Taco said in that video with Trez that he would be lifting the Marseille Cup.
He did.
Not sure a long way to go from here. But hey, if they can get the victory against Astralis here, that would turn some heads.
I think so. I think they've done that already. This is looking like a very good-looking Team Liquid, and a surprising short amount of time to look this efficient. I'm impressed.
But can they get over the finish line? So many teams have came up short from being in these scenarios, many of which against Astralis. Again, though, Glaive early on tagged down to 16. Last round it was 10. Nades being used ever so quickly. Dupree not far off the double spray, but step up Zipex. A player you can always count on to perform when the going gets tough. Twists has been spotted. The barrel of the gun betrays him. It's looking like Astralis will survive 1 more round at least. That nade's going to do nothing for Nafly. Down to 4 health. No chance, surely, at getting this round, but if he gets kills, that could be enough. Not going to happen.
I thought he had that one towards Mage's boy, but no, wasn't quite enough, and Astralis lived to tell the tale. And good news is Liquid won't be fully equipped this round. They might have to take a full eco here, allow Astralis to get more stable, get the full buy they require. Like we said, there was a few compromises in that particular round, and you're absolutely right. Zipex, one of the strongest anchors within CSGO, like so good at holding positions and making sure he's guaranteeing himself 1 or at least 2 frags sometimes. And there it is, a very light buy for Team Liquid here. A couple of upgraded pistols, some flashbangs, and hopefully Astralis will be able to claw this one together. I'd like to see it end with a full gun round, if possible, not the CZ.
We've been heartbroken too many times, Henry.
Yeah, I'm damaged goods at this point. The CZ has broken my heart too many times.
And there's 3 of them. The triple threat in play. P250.
Ooh, no one in the site.
That is very true. It could at least be a bomb plant. Astralis will shrug that off as long as they get the job done.
Trying to counter boost on the site as well. There's Taco getting up there.
Position that Astralis may not check instantly, especially if there's a lot of gunfire from multiple angles. That's what they're banking on. They have to go for a gimmicky play in this kind of a situation. You can't just set up in your standard positions and hope for the best. Taco, in the meanwhile, with the CZ trying to move and dodge and weave. but ultimately it's just one step closer to his demise, and Astralis, they're going to take us to 15-12.
Very efficient from Astralis there. That flashbang shut down any gimmicky play we saw there. I like the idea from Liquid, though. It's a very cool spot to chuck in when the bomb's planted as well. Commonly, CTs will boost up there 1.5, or maybe on an eco round with a stacking B, just to have that surprise factor. It works as well on the T side. You normally want to smoke kitchen, so you can really kind of stick it to them when they come for the full retake, but still decent attempts, not quite enough though, but they did get the plant, meaning they can bring out the orb on the twists on the T side of Mirage, it seems. 3 more rounds for overtime, and an execution from Liquid to try and close things out.
Device has the AWP again, but for me, by all means step in if you disagree, Henry. He just hasn't really had an impact with the AWP so far.
Not a massive one that we've come to expect from him.
Molotov chugging down Taco. Dupree's going to get the first. Trades going back and forth. With Taco being so low, though, surely Astralis have the slight advantage. I say slight because they have no way of knowing that, and already players are making inroads onto the site. Taco decides better of it, not for the first time. Liquid gets some real estate, and then they back away. Naflight goes down. That could very well force Liquid's hand now, that they have to play this very brute force one-dimensional take onto A. Try and trade it out, but they've got an AWP. A close range AWP at that. Not tailor-made for these kind of scenarios. Glaive sees the barrel sticking through. Twist down to 20. Very patient play by Glaive. He didn't push it. He waited for Twist to repeat. Knowing the terrorists were in a bad position. Really like that by Glaive. And now Astralis only 2 rounds shy of overtime.
Yep, and this has to be another eco for Team Liquid as well. Well played by Glaive. You're right. Very patient indeed. Holding up and making sure they had enough time just to force the T's to come in. He didn't have to make the play there. He just held back and made things very uncomfortable, spamming the corner so Twist couldn't get a shot off towards him. And there we have it. Device found the player in towards underpass to know as well, jumped up on the ratings towards short, took him down. And here's Zeus just trying to chime in and just let everyone know we're going to take an eco this round and we're going to close things out. It was something a little bit spicy in round number 30 perhaps. You might want to change the pace up and bring out the secret weapon, the set piece, the fake or something like that. We'll see what time will bring, but for now it looks like a full eco. I don't think they'll be bringing much more than just PT50s perhaps.
Absolutely. It'd be very surprising if we saw any kind of mild to heavy investment, and we're not. CZ, Deagle, a couple P250s as anticipated. And you better believe that the pressure's going to begin to mount for Liquid, who had 5 map points, and suddenly that's dwindled down to just 2. And Astralis going aggressive with Glaive. He's going for a quick peek in mid. Does spot Twist shoulder. Zipex in the meanwhile dunks the nade onto Nafly, and well, that round now should be tied up nicely for Astralis, and we will be heading to a 30th round, barring some miracle.
5 on 3, and you're right. I don't think this will go anywhere. Taco twists and Elige to get the bomb down. That'll be a slight miracle in itself, I would say. Zipex clinical shot towards Elige. 5 on 2 now. Taco and Twists with it all to do. And I don't think that bomb will be planted. That would have been a nice shot as Zipex got that one as well. They took it away. It's 1 consolation frag for Twists. That's pretty much all he'll be getting here. I doubt he manages to find the rifle. And it all comes down to round number 30. Astralis have at least got this far. Could be the most gutting way to finish it though. Go the full distance. They were chasing 15 to 10. But that's going to be 4 rounds in a row for them. Have they done enough? It feels like at this point, it feels like they've got it together almost. But remember, they took the time up before this round, Team Liquid that is. Is there some sort of secret weapon being deployed?
It seems when they've played aggressively through the likes of B, they've had quite a lot of success with that, especially earlier in this half. I don't know if they'll second guess that now that things have been somewhat bridged by Astralis. Nothing too aggressive on the table for the time being. Pretty standard start. No real pressure being applied on A though. Taco's not watching it, he's joined the rest of his team. Very aggressive play by Nafly, already into B apps. Making noise though, and he will just dip out. So we've had a partial answer, Henry. We're not going to have any kind of set play rush just yet.
Not off the bat, at least. 5 plays towards the middle area, really. No one towards Palace. A ramp. No one really committed in B at all or underpass. This is something a little bit different. We haven't seen this before from Team Liquid. They have got most of their utilities still. A few smokes expended at the start, but overall, still pretty healthy in that regard. They'll probably smoke off connect here. and go for a B split. From what I can work out, there's the smoke towards short, but Dupree's ready and waiting. How many frags does he get? He only gets one, but Glaive gets two. And now that should be overtime guaranteed unless Elige can find something out of nothing here.
This would have to be a Houdini level escape for Liquid to claim on, and they're getting step by step closer. Astralis, this is a 5v2. This was done, delivered, sealed up nicely. But instead, it's all down to the tag team duos. Flying and Elige, both of them battle scarred, both of them taken damage. Fresh Magisk and Glaive come into this round, but Magisk is now dropped to just 10. Elige is snapping around his aim, he picked up one, but Magisk answers back and Nafly's done it. Elige mainly gaining Liquid across the finish line in a round that didn't look possible.
5-on-2, Vince, to deny overtime. There's no taste that's sourer than that. Dupree and co have got to be absolutely gutted. That's such a horrible way to set himself up on map number 2 as well. The arduous task going from 15-10, and they couldn't close it out in the last round at a 5-on-2. Elige gets it done with Nafly. It wasn't easy either. It's not like Astralis made loads of mistakes. They just came in. They were hard hitting. They were well coordinated. Good play to get towards Kitchen. And what an epic first map that was. I had a lot of fun casting that one. Astralis didn't seem to wake up though until deep into the second half. That was the main problem for them. And then when they won both pistols as well, converted both of them to 3-0s, still not winning it. Couldn't quite get to overtime. We move on to Overpass next. And that's what the analysts are saying. It's a lock-in for Astralis. Are you still thinking that's true after what we just seen there?
Man, that's going to give him a serious kick up the backside,
Yes.
right? But I'm still stunned. I thought we were heading to overtime there, Henry.
Yeah, I thought it was a lock-in. 5-on-2, but that's just a little inkling of what's to come in this epic best of 3 so far. We're going to take a quick break. We're back with map number 2 very shortly.